Good afternoon, Community Church, and welcome to our Friday Lenten series. As each Friday, we look at this journey to the cross and what does the cross mean. And I hope that this is a time for you to enter into that dialogue with God and to spend some time thinking about what does the cross mean to you, whether you've been journeying with Jesus for a long time or for a short time. As you can see, I'm here with Pastor Brenda today, who's going to share with us some of what the cross means to her. Some opening thoughts, Brenda, for us?
Thank you. So during this season of Lent, as I walk around Xiongwan or Central, which is near my office, I'm thoughtful about what the foolishness of the cross means. What does it mean in this context? And I've been really pondering over that.
That's great. We're going to shift to just a video to provide some opportunity for you to reflect and begin that conversation with God. And then we'll come back and Pastor Brenda will unpack some of that for us today. Welcome back. And Brenda, I'm looking forward actually to what you have to share. We haven't talked much about what you're going to be sharing, but I know that this is an important topic for all believers, but something that you spent some time thinking through, obviously. So share with us today what's on your heart.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about, when Paul says that basically the cross of the gospel is a stumbling block to the Jews and it is also foolishness to the Greeks. And I'm thinking, what does that really mean? So as I walk around here, and I'm wondering what that means in a place like Hong Kong. And so then I've been thinking, about perhaps it has got to do with power narrative. The Jews then and the Greeks and Romans, they had a different power narrative, and which were not the narrative of the cross, the power narrative of the cross. And I think that's what I've been really thinking about.
Now that's a good insight. Speak a little bit more about the power narrative. What was their concept of what was strong or powerful, and how is that contrast to the cross?
Yeah, so I think for the Jews, they were looking for a powerful Messiah, coming with might and power to perhaps kill their enemies and rescue them. And I think for the Gentiles, especially I think for the Greeks and Romans, it's about wisdom, a certain kind of wisdom. It's about achievements, that kind of power narrative.
No, that's good, because I think it meant actually Jesus' journey to the cross for them was not convincing them that he was the Messiah. It was actually the opposite. How could the Messiah die, right? How could he give his life? It wasn't supposed to end like this. They didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I'm going to share a very short quote with you by Tom Wright about the cross. So it's about God's powerful foolishness in a world of foolish power. And that really makes me think, as I walk around, what kind of power narratives have we got, and what kind of power narratives do I subscribe to? Do you subscribe to, or do you subscribe to? What does it make you want to do?
No, for sure. And I think we all probably have our own power narratives, and the cross kind of turns them upside down. Brenda, I wonder if you might, share a little bit about personally, what does the cross mean to you? What difference has it made in your life?
Yeah, so I think, many. Yeah. But I think along this theme of power narratives, and I think I have learned that the power narrative is about powerlessness. It's about weakness. So I think looking at the cross, it teaches me what it means to rely on the power that is Jesus Christ, to rely on the power that is healing, and not to, just rely on myself to strive and strive and strive. So I think personally it reminds me to die to perhaps self-importance, self-promotion maybe. Basically, it reminds me not to subscribe to the world's power narrative.
That's good. Thank you, Brenda. I was impressed with this one quote from the book that we touched on last week, and this is what it says: Christians do not simply look to the cross of Christ with prayerful reverence. We are set in motion by its power, energized by it, upheld by it, guaranteed by it, secured by it for the promised future, because it is the power of the creating word that gives life to the dead and calls into existence the things that do not exist. And that's Romans 4:17 there. And it's not the world's power we need to look to, but actually the power of the cross. So do ponder what the cross means to you. How is it powerful versus the world's power? Thank you for joining us today. Have a great rest of your time.